Hi everyone, my name is Marko Matušinskij, and this is our fourth video about sports science. And in this one, I would like to talk about peers, or something that we like to call training load monitoring cycle. So we all know today that we have a lot of data points and technologies that are out there and that we are using with our players, teams, but sometimes it gets messy and we don't know. Uh, which variable to choose and what is the first step, what is the second step. So we don't see the tree out there, in the forest. So and with this video and with this episode, I will try to give an explanation of this whole cycle, and after that, I will try to go into our software to explain into more details about RP technology and what RP session is. So in this cycle, you can see four different steps, or I would like to say five. Well, the first step, like every training session or every training plan, is consistent of training drills. So the plan and program and methodology that we are building with our coach and teams. So we need to know what kind of methodology we will use, what kind of exercises we will use, and we need to play with the variables that will dictate the volume, intensity, and density of those actions. So this is the first step. The second step is, according to those minutes, we need to check what we have done by GPS data. If we have any of them, but if I just check in Croatia and in this league, first and second division, we have like 80 or 90% of the teams use this kind of technology, also in youth academies. So this is something that is quite widely used. So according to the plan, we need to see what is happening with the GPS data and what kind of numbers we collected here. The third step, we need to see what is the response from the internal part of the player, and we can divide this into two steps, so objective and subjective. If we don't have any objective measure, the second best option is RPE. But I would like to say that RPE should be emphasized and should be there also if you have heart rates, lactates, and GPSs. So this is the third step. Let's check what are the reactions of our team. The next step is we need to see tomorrow how they are responding to that training session. So what is the feedback from soreness, pain level, mood, stress, but also some fatigue state. And the state before going to next training session and planning a new plan, we need to check the readiness of the athletes. So how ready are they to go to this session? And the next step, and like I said, we will talk more about internal load. So about the internal load, we are talking about session RP here, and on the left side you can see how the scale looks like. So it's a scale where you're answering on a question how hard the training session was from 0 to 10, and according to that you can see how hard the training session is just by asking the question how hard the training session is to the players, and by multiplying session RP with session duration, so intensity times volume, we can get a load from our player for our team. Later on, we can use some of the most important variables to check even deeper or even into more details. I am advocate of using the advanced method. Well, not just because to collect something, but it can be useful in telling the whole story, what is happening with your teams. But you can choose the basic, intermediate, or advanced variables when it comes to session RP, and when it comes to defining low, medium, and high zone for those variables, you can see here. And just with this methodology, you can easily define what is hard training session, what is medium training session, what is low week, what is high week in your team. And the first step, how you can use the RP is, well, you can start building more quality. You can put more quality in building your preseason just by understanding your off season and the last weeks of season. So you can use that microcycle with that load, and you can start with it in your preseason, because what we see in the teams is that a lot of problems are happening during that period. because we have a big jumps in load, big jumps in volume, particularly. The second step, what we can do with this method, we can check the ACVR, or acute to chronic workload ratio. So what it means, it isn't a magic number that will prevent injuries, but it is a great tool for programming. So you can see what you have been doing the last 7 days according to the last 30 days. So you can program and going up with the load, and you can use the step three with RP. You can check what you have been doing the last 3 days, and according to that, you can uh, maybe change something in the next upcoming training training sessions. And now we will try to see this in Ultrax software. What is the main reason of this episode, to see what we can do here? So in the training load dashboard, we have RP load, GPS load, and heart rate load. So the main role of this dashboard is to analyze the data, longitudinally. And we have some basic graphs that you can see here, and we put it an advanced variable scenario. So you can see all of the variables, if you remember, from the column of advanced variables. And on the graph here, you can see freshness, player wellness, daily load, acute and chronic load, and how it is changing from day to day. Of course, you can see your team's ACVR and trend. So how are you putting the load on the athletes, and are you increasing this intensity or volume parameter, or you are decreasing it? Again, of course, you can see this for all the players listed here, and all the variables and most important variables you can see here. Again, you can see does the players have any pain problems, feeling sick, or if you are working in a female team, you can check the menstrual period and menstrual cycle phase. So from the training load, you can see here, when you scroll up on it, you can see the duration of training session, the training grade, the training load. Again, you can see the daily load. What it means? Well, it means a summation of morning session and afternoon session if you have double. Acute load, so the last 7 days. Chronic load, the last 28 or 30 days. ACVR, we discussed about it. So you want to see something's green, or if you are in a deload period, maybe you see something like here that is happening with Kenny. Freshness, so it's a week-to-week change. When you have a higher last week, then the freshness will be positive or negative if you have lower. So this simple information can give you an insight. Have you increased or decreased the load between the last 2 weeks? Fatigue, general muscle soreness, stress, mood, sleep, of course. Pain scale, as I said. And if we scroll down, you can see team pain average, yesterday pain, last 7 days. You can see it even listed. So all the pain trends you can see here for the last 7 days, yesterday or today. Here, you can see our wellness team score quite easily and fast. And we put here one graph, what is happening with sleep quality and sleep duration according to the load. And down here, we have two more. I will do it like this. We have two more graphs, and they are scatter plot graphs from 7 days about RP and training duration. And also on the right side, you can see 30-day scenario. So what it means that we have 4 quadrants, like high intensity, high volume, and low intensity, low volume. And you can see that this Nathan guy have low intensity and low volume. Maybe he's in recovery, maybe he's injured, and he needs to increase his load and intensity or volume to get closer to the team values. And also the same logic you can see here on the right side. So if you have this rigs player that is down, so she has a solid intensity, but maybe we can increase volume a little bit to get closer to the team values.